everybody, this is the Vikstrand. Yes, we're doing grand openings today for this video. Now, before we take a look at this movie, I just want to ask you a question. What do you think would have been the best combination for this movie, considering, you know, the main lead, instead of Anthony Hopkins or Brad Pitt? What if originally this movie would have been made of Tom Cruise and Sean Connery? I think personally that what we got probably was the best, because it would have been too much of a Tom Cruise and Sean Connery-esque vehicle. About it for a second. Think about the star power of James Bond and Ethan Hunt. Well, we do have to settle for Hannibal Lecter and Tyler Durden, I guess. The movie today is called Legends of the Fall. Montana, the early 1900s. So we have a patriarch, Ludlow, played by Anthony Hopkins, and his three sons, who comes there to settle in. And this movie will span multiple decades, where we see the brothers hating each other, loving each other, protecting each other during World War I, for instance, getting into trouble, getting out of trouble, and all this while history rolls them by, and in the end we'll have a bit of a family chronicle, I guess. This movie is one of these big movies with the intentions of being maybe, you know, a Gone by the Wind or, you know, Dr. Zhivago or something like that. It does have the building blocks to do it. It is made, after all, by one of the low-key best directors in Hollywood, Edward Zwick. If the name Edward Zwick doesn't ring a bell with you, he's sort of a Steven Spielberg without the overuse of sappiness, although James Horner's music does become a little bit too much at times. Zwick is an expert of these kind of, you know, years spending movies about, you know, certain cultures, certain areas. I mean, he has done Blood Diamond, the Last Samurai and Glory and stuff like that. He seems like a good man to tackle these kind of things. For me, Legends of the Fall, it was better than I expected it to be. I went in with rather low expectations. These kind of family drama, big time stuff has never really been my bread and butter when it comes to movies. But I think this is a good movie. It does have a little bit of a problem that Tristan's brothers, I forgot all about them as soon as the movie was over. It's just Brad Pitt who's, you know, overshadowing these two. He wasn't the monster superstar he would be there, but he was just on the precipice of becoming that. And Pitt does a very good job in this movie, and Anthony Hopkins, however, the government-hating patriarch, screw the government, as he says at one time when he has a bit of a speech impediment and is a bit ill, is great. Now, with fantastic cinematography and pretty good acting and a script that is pretty compact but still gets all the good stuff in here, this movie is a good one. There are sequences and there are sections of the movie that feels a bit like padding and, you know, just, you know, showing the amazing landscape stuff like that, which is good. But this movie, even though it clocks in at just over 2 hours and 10 minutes, does feel like it's had its fair share of script padding here and there. But overall, it's a good movie. It's not a movie that you will remember like, you know, the grand masters of the genre, but it is a very impressive visual spectacular of a movie. I am a bit of a sucker for the ending. The ending is one of these, yeah, that was the way to go. That was the way to end this. And that of course helps. Legends of the Fall may not break any new ground or tell any new stories in new and exciting and thought-provoking ways, but it is a very well made, a very good looking, and one of these very slick produced historical dramas by Hollywood. I think the World War I section of the movie still could have been a little bit longer and a little bit more explored upon, because it is such a fascinating era. The coexistence and the friendship with the Native Americans in Montana is of course nice and all that stuff, but it isn't as interesting as World War I think. Legends of the Fall is a movie, if you like Brad Pitt's work and haven't seen it, this is a good movie to check out. I like the family dynamics, and it gives ways for some really good character developments and the character arcs, but I do have to say that this is not exactly what I usually like to see, even though it is better than many movies in the same genre I have seen. With one or two interesting side characters, an interesting family dynamics, a little bit of an unpredictable third act, and lots of amazing cinematography, I am confident of giving this movie 60 points. It is a bit hampered by the movie sometimes being a bit unfocused and not knowing exactly where it's going, but I guess that has to do with the source material or something like that. I don't know, but it is a good movie nonetheless, even though it could have been even better. So that was Legend of the Fall, a really good movie. I'll see you next time from, well, so-and-so reviewing such and such. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much.